Today was all about blasts from the past. Got a picture up right here. Chris Porro, Ted Arcidi, and Chris's dad, Mr. Porro. That's all I called him. Chris Porro, when I walked into Olympia Gym in Verona, New Jersey, I walked in with my head down. I was 15 maybe. My dad, he was a student. Chris was a student of my dad at Montclair State. He said, "You'll never walk with your head down again." Something popped up on Facebook. Chris Porro. I was like, holy shit, that's Chris Porro. I contact him. He gives me his number. He says, call me today. I call him. We talk for like 40 goddamn minutes. The memories. This picture. Ted Arcidi, the guy in the middle, became a wrestler. I saw Ted Arcidi lift 700 pounds in a bench press in the gym. A gentle giant. Chris told a story today where Ted Arcidi was crossing the street and on Bloomfield Avenue. See, the gym was right on Bloomfield Avenue, and he was kind of in his own world. A guy honked at him. He ripped his shirt off, started banging on the guy's car, and Chris's dad, 5'8", 160 pounds, grabbed Arcidi by the ear, dragged him to the gym, and kicked him in the butt to get back in the goddamn gym. He came to the gym the first time Chris told me, and his dad said, there's a young guy here, big guy. And he goes, Ted Arcidi. He goes, Dad, he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's Ted. And he came every day. He'd go practice at the WWE, no money. And he'd come to the gym, and Chris's dad would buy him lunch every day. Gentle giant, like pumping up guys. So, I mean, Olympia Gym was a gym that all local guys worked out at. It was a good 20, 30-minute ride because I had to go through lights. I had to go through Caldwell, Verona. It was a lot of lights to get there, and that's where I'd work out. They played, I remember the Rocky IV soundtrack, the characters there. He was telling me names, Chris, today. I remember faces. I don't remember names. His father, I remember, passed away in the gym. I remember going to his dad, going to the church. I remember putting a rose on his casket. He was the nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy. Chris was a good guy, great guy. He sold the gym, never was the same. You know, I never found a gym like Olympia. And then Chris tells me that, you know, he competed afterwards, sent me pictures. He was jacked. He was huge. He was one level, like 2 levels below. There was a guy, Gerard Denti, who was one step below going professional. He was a monster. But Chris sent me pictures. He looked great. You know, when he competed, I was like, dude, he looked great. I mean, great. Okay, so fast forward, he's married, grandkids now. So, I mean, I haven't seen him in over 35 years. Sold the gym. It ends up, he decides, I think a friend wants to work out with him. Why don't we start a gym in your house? He had 1,000 square feet in his basement, bigger than our apartment here in New York. And he ends up building a gym in his basement. He shows it to me. Works out with a buddy 3 times a week, work out like 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to New Providence to do a workout there. Has everything. Hack squat, leg press. He said gyms were selling stuff. He'd get cheap because, you know, they were trying to get rid of equipment. He's got a full gym. And then a father calls him about training his kid for wrestling. He goes, I don't do that stuff anymore. 15 years ago. It ends up, well, he said if the kid wants to work out, he's got to be here 5:30 tomorrow morning. Kid shows up. Fast forward, 50 kids come through the place. Doing pro bono, kids that couldn't afford training, whatever. Sent kids. There's a wall. He has a wall of kids, of accomplishments. He told me about a girl that played D1 at Florida, played softball. The schools are astronomical. Wake Forest, Northeastern, Rutgers, Seton Hall, Montclair State, Wagner, Duke, Va Tech, Temple. Like, these kids just went to Colorado, Florida, the U, Penn State, Moravian College, Texas, Drew University, Marist, St. Joseph's, Flagler College, Tacoma College, Vanderbilt, Penn State, Indiana, Lynchburg, Lehigh. And he told me that when they got in there, I think there was a kid, Hunter, who was going to work out there. No, he goes, Hunter can't be your name. Like, he said, if I came to the gym, it wouldn't be Jonathan. It would be Giovanni. Like, everybody was given a name when they came to the gym. And the pandemic kind of shut it down, but he still trains with 2 other guys 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He said, we probably overtrained back then. I said, I didn't care. I felt like I was in my element. These were just regular, these were dudes that worked out, not like what I have now with people on their phones and everything. And reminiscing, asking about my dad. How's my dad's doing? Hasn't spoken to him. I'm like, Dad, you got to get in touch with him. I go, and he actually, and they made up T-shirts for the Olympia gym. They called it Olympia 2. And when people went places, he had his wife got silk screens and all this, got a company to do it, hats, T-shirts, everything. And people go, whoa, what's this Olympia? Because it was a brotherhood. It was a tight unit. The guys who worked out there were serious about working out. Wasn't, they put in a tape, flipped it over. No bullshit there. You weren't like standing around. You'd be there for hours, whatever. You worked out. The back room was the leg room. It was, I called him and it felt like we spoke yesterday, like no time elapsed. And the passion in his voice, the excitement got me excited. And I said, you know what, Chris, I'm leading off for the show today. And he said somebody sent him something where I talked about Ted Arcidi, and he goes, oh my God, he knew what I was talking about, and he knew it was me. And he gave me his number, and I was like, wow. And then on top of it, what's on right now, and I didn't catch the beginning, Turner Classic Movies is showing The Fish at St. Pittsburgh. That movie my father took me to when I was a kid. Dr. J, Meadowlark Lemon, Stockard Channing. Oh my God. I love that movie. The music. And it's like a total reminisce day for me. I was talking to Danny today. He's doing well. Sent the script out to somebody. My mother knew somebody, and she's pushed. Danny, you got to send out the goddamn script. Send out the script. That's the way my mother is. She pushes, but in a good way. She cares about people. She pushes and pushes. Anniversary on Friday, birthday Saturday, Father's Day on Sunday. Chris is a grandfather. He's got a lot on his plate right now. Sending my love to him, his wife, his kids, his grandkids. I